We spend so much time talking about the screens themselves, the OLEDs, the 8K panels, all that, but we almost never talk about the invisible infrastructure that gets the image there in the first place.
Right. And today we're diving into one of those unsung heroes. We're looking at the Key Digital KD DA1x8.
It's the kind of thing you see the result of, but not the device itself. You walk into a sports bar, you see a wall of screens all perfectly in sync.
And you just assume it's simple. But keeping 8 different displays perfectly matched with 0 signal loss is, it's a real engineering challenge.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. This isn't just some splitter you grab off a shelf. It's an 18G HDMI distribution amplifier. 1 source in, 8 sources out, all with full 4K bandwidth.
And that word amplifier is really the key here, isn't it? A simple passive splitter just chops up the signal, which kills the quality, especially over any kind of distance. This thing is active. It builds a brand new clean signal for every single output.
So that's what the full buffer system is all about. It's not just making the signal louder, electrically speaking. It's actually managing the timing of the data.
Exactly. Digital signals don't just fade like an old radio. They get jittery. The timing of the ones and zeros gets all messed up. This device does something called TMDS reclocking.
Okay, break that down.
It basically takes that messy incoming data stream, it realigns the timing of clock, and then regenerates a perfect copy to send out to each TV. It cleans up the mess.
Which gets rid of all those horrible sparkly artifacts or, the screen just blinking out completely. But that's only half the battle. If you've ever tried hooking up even 2 monitors, you know the real nightmare is the handshake.
Oh, the ED negotiation.
Huh.
It's a disaster in multi-screen setups.
How so?
Well, the source, say your Blu-ray player, asks the display what it can handle. With 8 displays, it gets confused. It might see one little 1080p screen on output 4 and then decide to dumb down the signal for everyone.
Ah, the lowest common denominator problem. Your brand new 4K projectors are getting a terrible signal.
And this unit just bypasses all that chaos. It has an internal library, a list of 15 different ED handshakes. You can basically force the source to output the exact 4K signal you want, no matter what the screens are telling it.
And I imagine that same logic applies to the other big headache, HDCP, the copy protection.
Yes. Instead of the source trying to authenticate with 8 different devices at once and just giving up, this box manages the HDCP license for each output on its own. It isolates them.
So if one display has a handshake issue, it doesn't bring down the whole network.
It doesn't. The other 7 screens just keep on working.
Now, with all that bandwidth, we're not just talking about resolution. This is supporting HDR10 deep color up to 12 bits. That's a lot of data to push through without any compression or loss.
And that includes the audio, which is where a lot of cheaper splitters fall apart. They'll see a simple stereo TV somewhere in the chain and tell the source to send stereo to everyone.
Right. And suddenly your amazing Dolby Atmos home theater system is what, playing in 2-channel because of a tiny screen in the kitchen?
This avoids that. Because you're managing the EDAID, you can tell the source to prioritize those lossless audio streams, like Dolby True HD or DTS HD Master Audio. The main system gets the full experience.
There's one more little feature on here that I think is brilliant, the CEC disconnect switch.
That's what I call installer empathy. It shows they've actually done this in the real world. It's the chaos prevention toggle.
Look, CEC, Consumer Electronics Control, it's fine for your living room. You turn on your game console, it turns on the TV, great. But in a commercial setup with 8 screens, it's a nightmare.
You'd have one command just cascading through the whole system, turning everything on and off by accident.
Or just creating a ton of unnecessary signal traffic. Being able to physically flip a switch and cut that communication line. It's a small detail, but it makes the entire system so much more stable.
It's a firewall for control signals. And it's probably why this is a, roughly $750 piece of pro gear and not a $50 gadget. You're paying for that reliability with a 3-year warranty to back it up. Yeah. It's the difference between hoping your install works and knowing it will.
So it really hammers home the point that in high-end AV, splitting a signal is actually about rebuilding it, managing it, and isolating it.
It's a much more active process than the name implies.
But it leaves me with a question. We're here talking about needing all this complex hardware just to manage 18 gigabits per second for 4K.
Which is already a huge amount of data.
And we're all looking at the 8K future where the bandwidth requirements are going to quadruple at least. If we need this much invisible infrastructure to keep today's standards stable, what kind of mind-bending tech are we going to need to manage the fire hose of data that's coming next? Something to think about.